the other parent had had an affair with the other parent's best friend. And so as you can imagine, that there was some tension there in the room.
If you're planning to get divorced in Texas, could a collaborative divorce be the right thing for you? Well, that's what we're going to ask the lawyer on today's episode. Hi again, everybody. I'm Rob Rosenthal with AskTheLawyers.com. My guest is attorney Jimmy Vaught with the Vaught Law Firm in Austin, Texas. I want to remind you, if you'd like to ask questions about your specific situation, just head over to AskTheLawyers.com. Click the button at the top of the page that says Ask a Lawyer, and you can do it right there. It'll walk you right through the process. Jimmy, it's good to see you again. Thank you for helping us out.
Of course, good to see you again.
Well, let's just start with a little definition. Specifically in Texas, what is collaborative divorce?
Well, a collaborative law divorce is basically the parties signed what's called a participation agreement, and so the parties and the attorneys are bound by that. And what that means is, if anybody opts out, and either party can opt out, then they have to start all over with different lawyers. And the way collaborative law works is you have a series of four-way meetings with the lawyers, the parties. Lots of times we'll use like a financial person if there's property issues involved. That may help meet with the parties to develop a spreadsheet. And it's not uncommon to have a mental health type person to work with parties to help work out some of the issues concerning children.
What are the benefits then of a collaborative divorce? Is it cheaper, or why would somebody choose this way?
Well, there's been some debate about whether it's cheaper or not, although it probably is. The benefit is that it's everybody works together to try to come to a desired result. There's nobody in collaborative law. Nobody can go to court, so you don't have any court hearings. And I think one of the purposes is to keep the drama down, and particularly if they're children, so it makes it easier to co-parent in the future.
It sounds to me very similar to mediation. How is this different or similar to mediation?
Well, mediation is a different animal, so to speak. In mediation, the parties meet usually in separate rooms. They have their own lawyers, and then a mediator is hired to work with the parties and go back and forth to try to facilitate a settlement. Whereas collaborative law, there's no court proceedings, and whereas mediation usually comes in a court proceeding or contested divorce, so to speak. But in collaborative law, you don't have any court hearings, and it's much more. I mean, the parties are making decisions just like they are in mediation, but it's a much more low key and kind of a kinder and gentler way to settle divorce.
Is any family law attorney able to do a collaborative law divorce, or do they need special certification or anything?
Well, normally you should be trained receive some training in collaborative law. I've actually been trained in collaborative law and do some occasionally. Some lawyers do it without any training. There's no sort of requirement for training, but it's probably better to use someone who's actually been trained in collaborative law.
And is it something that you recommend? It would seem to me it really requires that all the parties, there not be a lot of animosity amongst the parties.
Well, actually, I mean, that's one of the things that the options that we provide clients to come to see us. Some choose to do it, some choose not to. Even if they choose not to, our approach is usually sort of amicable, and so try to keep the drama down. But it's one of the options that we do offer people who come to see us.
And it works. Are there certain situations where it just wouldn't work? If there's complicated finances or custody, or could it work for anything?
Well, I mean, it probably doesn't work very well when you have a really contentious situation between the parties. And I can give you, but sometimes it does. And there's some people who think any case is appropriate for collaborative. And then some who, basically, if it's actually a really, really contentious, high conflict situation, that I think collaborative law is probably not the place to be. But I've also had some where it's pretty contentious. I had one where I represented one parent where the other parent had an affair with the other parent's best friend. So as you can imagine, that there was some tension there in the room.
And that takes somebody with a certain set of skills to be able to navigate that, I'm guessing.
Yes, you're right.
Jimmy, thank you so much for making some time to answer our questions. I appreciate it.
Sure thing. Thanks so much.
That's going to do it for this episode of Ask the Lawyer. My guest has been Austin attorney Jimmy Vaught with the Vaught Law Firm. Remember, if you'd like to ask questions about your specific situation, just head over to AskTheLawyers.com. Click the button at the top of the page that says Ask a Lawyer, and you can do it right there to walk you right through the process. Thanks for watching. I'm Rob Rosenthal with Ask the Lawyers.